This
How do you fix that?
Gotta move
Okay,
your
so
phone away
how
from
do we fix that? We have to go off Zoom?
No, just move your phone a little bit away from your headset.
The phone is far away from the headset.
view button.
That.
Yeah.
Video
That.
It's okay. We should be all right. So, we are going to talk about some minimum requirements of, especially coming up in 2025. It's already here, but just in case you don't know, JAWS is the program that's a screen reader. So JAWS requires 16 gigabytes of system memory, okay, by itself. So Windows requires at least 4 gigs. So right there, you're already at 20 gigabytes of RAM that's needed just to run Windows and JAWS in an efficient manner. And that's no matter whether it's JAWS or Fusion or JAWS and Zoom text. They are RAM intensive programs, okay? So anytime that we're looking at a computer system, Phil, yours is more than fine because I built yours and I know what you have.
Mine's not.
No, not yours, Kenny. Yours sucks. So if you got a computer that is like a 2015 or older, you're going to be hard pressed to be able to have a motherboard that will support more than 16 gigs of RAM. So now with that said, now we all understand the requirements of Freedom Scientific products. And we're not even going to talk about open books either, because that also requires a nice chunk of RAM.
Yes.
As Ulysses knows, right, Ulysses?
Correct, yes. In fact, this computer will definitely run the JAWS 2025 because I got it in 2021, so it's not an older laptop. It's still, I consider it still new, and it still runs pretty good. So,
We'll see. Now,
What's the specs?
For example, what is your specs? Kenny wants to know.
It's a 16 gigabyte laptop.
Okay, so you're going to have to upgrade your RAM, though, Mr. Ulysses, because as we just stated, just to run JAWS just by itself requires 16 gigabytes to run it even semi-smoothly. Then you got Windows that requires 4 gigs, so you need at least 20 gigs of RAM.
And is that just Windows 10 or Windows 11 or both?
Both. So, yeah, if I was you, I'd upgrade your RAM on your laptop to 32 gigabytes.
Do I need to call the people who I got the laptop from and have them do it, or
why not?
Did you get it through vocational rehab?
Yeah, did you get through vocational rehab
or some type of program?
I got this through DR.
Yeah, then I would call DR and have them upgrade it or buy you a new one.
Yep, either upgrade your RAM or buy you a new whole laptop.
Usually they would rather replace it than upgrade.
Yeah,
for California, you guys are just lucky.
I know you guys you get stuff handed to you like candy.
Yeah.
You guys got it.
So I could do that.
You could get Bill to help you do an IP to do a report and turn it in, get you upgraded to a new computer, Ulysses.
And for you, Miss Angela, if you could get with your
can I do that VR thing?
You could ask them if that's vocational rehab.
Okay, but it's I do have a regular case open. I don't have a VR case.
What do you mean by a regular case? Can
I have a regular Commission of the Blind case open.
That's the same thing.
Thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Same thing. I got to ask him what now?
Tell him that your computer is old and that you need at least 32 gigabytes of RAM, which your current computer cannot support, in order to run JAWS, Windows, and some other programs.
Good. Yes, good.
And maybe
you're part of some of the programs of NFB and local programs,
I can
correct?
connect.
Yes.
Yeah, so say no. The reason I was saying that is you can help you with somebody that can actually get to do you an IP report. It's just a certain formatting that you turn it into your state for, of showing that needing the upgrade and why.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important to do that right, or they'll deny you.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are saying IP report. Is that different from an IPE report?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it is.
It is, sir.
What is it?
What is the difference?
IPP report or IPE? Which do you mean?
IPE.
IPE? Well, let me write
What's
this
the
down.
difference between IP and IPE?
All right, Mr. Kinney, fire away, sir.
Okay, so IP and ITE.
No,
IP.
you just need an IP report. You're not doing actual education. You're not going to any type of classes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right.
And that's what I was just going to say. That's more the difference is if you're getting some type of equipment, software, or even device that has to do with you upgrading your knowledge and education for some type of degree or just certification or just training for job readiness to just everyday life, function of everyday life, and just being able to
IP, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I hope at some point we don't have to get 128 gigabytes of RAM.
Well, if that would ever happen, Mr. Phil, your computer can handle it.
Really? But you only gave me, I have 64.
That don't mean that it couldn't be changed around, Mr. Phil.
Can you go over that one more time, Ken? It's I as in India,
P as in Paul.
P's and Paul.
is in Paul. Okay. And,
Yeah, it's basically just a report justifying why you need it.
Okay. And the other thing was an IPP?
No, you don't
IPE,
have to worry about
but
the
you
other
don't need
thing.
that.
You don't have to worry about the other thing, but it was I as in India, P as in Paul, E as in Edward.
Okay. Thank you. And I'll call him tomorrow.
Yeah.
No,
And
you're
the
welcome.
E, Miss Angela,
She just wants to know, that's all.
and the E, Miss Angela, stands for educational. So if you're trying to get like some type of job readiness training, like Kenny said, then you'd have to do the one for education, which would be the IPE.
You just need it to use in everyday life or function of everyday life purposes.
Yeah.
So
we have something here that's called I Can Connect. It's ICT. And you have to be vision impaired and hearing impaired.
Oh.
Okay.
And I qualify for both.
Okay.
And they will give you equipment. So I will talk to Mr. Baker and see if he can do this report.
And what you want to tell them, Miss Angela, is you want to let them know that JAWS by itself, on a minimum, takes 16 gigabytes of RAM, and then Windows takes at least 4 gigabytes of RAM.
Right.
And if he asks you, where did you learn that? Say from a blind computer technician.
Okay, so JAWS 24
takes 16 gigabytes minimum.
Your Fusion. She's got Fusion.
Your Fusion.
JAWS 4, Fusion.
Yep.
16.
Yep, minimum.
Okay.
No, Angela. Fusion is 16. Windows is 4. JAWS or Fusion, either one, but you have Fusion is 16. Windows is 4.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So you're saying the ultimate would be 64.
Well, they'll give you
ultimate
64.
Would,
at least you at least need 32 gigabytes of RAM
32.
at least.
Okay.
Yeah. But they'll give you 64. Hey, shoot them for it.
Get as much as you can.
Yeah.
They have to be aware that this stuff changes and that the memory is being more used. They just cannot be behind them.
Mr. Phil, believe it or not, some people that work directly for Freedom Scientific just still doesn't realize that the requirements have gone up.
Really?
Yes.
So they don't necessarily have to know this stuff.
Mm-mm.
They do.
My vocational rehab counselor knows nothing When you call
Yeah.
him to ask for anything, he's like, they call it AUK, which is another department. He doesn't, the counselors really do nothing except for sign off on what you can and can't have, because they supposedly have a budget they can go by.
Yeah.
They have a whole different department that calls you. And I literally spent 4 hours on the phone with them one time to justify the need for an piece of equipment, just for them to do the recommendations, but it was still up to my counselor to approve or disapprove. They don't really have IT people that work for them.
God.
Now, you go to further California and New York, you all are a lot more better off because y'all have a lot more, like Bill actually had, other programs and things like that. They can write the reports to justify it, and the budgets are higher. They don't know what to spend or how to spend the money in Georgia or the southern counties, and so they don't, and then they lose it, and then they can't justify it. But when you do get people that actually know what they're doing, it was like I just reopened my case and I wrote up my own reports, and every device I asked for, I got it. Because they couldn't deny it. I even had other vocational rehabs from doing a whole big survey and stuff and report, like from Minnesota, justifying it. It's like, how can you tell me that's wrong? And plus, because I became smart, it doesn't matter which state you're in, there is a advocate, attorneys, that if you get denied by vocational rehab, that's something that you feel should be justified to use in your everyday life, they will go and work for you and get it for you. They all work at the governor's office. What, Bill? Phil?
Disability rights organizations are in each state. We got disability rights New York. Do you have disability rights blank, whatever your state is called? You must have it.
Yeah, for New Jersey, there's one we got in Jersey.
So you have to ask for a solid state hard drive and the matching motherboard.
Well, the thing is, Miss Angela, if you ask for 32 gigs of RAM and a new computer, they'll give you all that.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
The amount of memory, the maximum amount of memory is dictated by the CPU, right?
No. It's a combination of motherboard, what the motherboard sockets and the CPU can handle. It's a combination of the two. So, Miss Angela, what you want to tell them is that you need at least 1 terabyte of a hard drive as well.
Good.
1 T. Okay, that's what I thought.
1 terabyte. Yep.
Figure out how they're going to give them that.
Oh, that's easy.
Now you know why I have an iPad.
Easier. Yeah, but now the iPad,
because I couldn't deal with all that.
Well, that's going to bite you in the butt too, because all of a sudden you're going to start getting messages from Apple that you're going to have to upgrade.
Yep.
I haven't gotten it yet.
Fails. It never fails. Trust me. Yeah, even with cell phones, it's like there's ways around it. Trust me, there it is. It's just aggravating at times. It's like, but you don't really have to buy into their stuff and get that extra storage depending on what you have. But because there's other ways around it, but you'll start getting those annoying messages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get them all the time too from Apple.
Mm-hmm. But now, they got to make money somehow.
One quick question for Kenny or Jerry. If I do end up getting a new computer, like you said, Jerry and Ken, I agree with both of you, will I need to reinstall Zoom on my new computer?
Yes. You'll have to install all your stuff.
Yeah, you'll have to deactivate it on your computer that you have now. And whomever, like if whoever buys it for you, you could go ahead and have them download the Zoom for you, or before you ever get it, or your JAWS, whatever you use, and then you just have to activate it, or you could give them your activation code unless they already have it, and they can activate it for you. The only reason I say deactivate it on that computer you have is because in case you do want to use 2 other devices, you won't lose that one.
Mr. Kenny, he's not talking about Zoom text. He's talking about a Zoom for coming to the meetings.
The Zoom the Zoom.
Oh, I'm to apologize. Yeah,
the Zoom
but no,
comment.
you can actually go meet directly through the web on Zoom. But if you want the app re-downloaded, yes, you'll have to re-download it.
So it's zoom.us?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Now
I apologize.
You can
Yes.
go with them, or you can also, buy a Hartford computer as well.
Not for VR to pay for. They
Not
have
for
to use their
VR,
own vendor.
Nope, VR won't pay for it, but
Interesting.
it's a heck of a nice computer, isn't it, Mr. Kenny?
Yeah, but the VR won't pay for it.
No, well, no, tell them that up front. So, yeah, that would be our Ulysses money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did they give you? The cheapest computer they can find?
Well, put it this way, Phil. When they finally gave me my laptop for work, which was a remote position that I had to work on remote JAWS.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even have barely enough memory just to cover my JAWS.
Oh,
Wow.
They ordered it off of Amazon for Georgia. Like I said, Georgia sucks. It sucks.
Wow.
But now I do have to give my counselor credit, though. She actually had ordered me a Dell computer with great specs on it, but that was during COVID, and it never got delivered. It went on back order, and supposedly the chair she ordered for me never would get offloaded at a port because they didn't want to be cross-contaminated.
Oh.
So, but you got that computer, Jerry. I sent it to you.
Yep, I remember.
The HP.
Yep.
That you had forever and a day a hard time while replacing the hard drive to upgrade the memory.
Yep.
Compatibility. I think but they did. I saw it on my the report they give me of what they got. Yeah, it was HP, and they ordered it off Amazon.
Yeah, you want to hear? You want to know what I had to do for that dumb thing, Mr. Kenny?
There's no telling.
I had to go download onto a thumb drive a HP driver from HP's website, load that first, and then load the operating system afterwards.
It was a cheap computer. I mean, it would have been great just for probably somebody just starting out to use a computer to learn how to use programs and things of that nature, but not somebody that uses a screen reader program. And the very first computer that they got me, Phil, you can ask Jerry and you can ask Bill. They paid for me to go to school, as you know, for World Services Blind, because you was one of my students. Mm-hmm. My computer, I was required to have Zoom text on it, NVDA, and JAWS, because I was required by school to have those on there to learn or be certified in all three of them. Mm-hmm. By having those programs, everything else I had to go to external hard drive and thumb drive. And you all had newer versions of JAWS than I did, and vocational rehab refused to upgrade my computer or my JAWS.
Yep. Oh, for God's sakes.
Yep. American Printing House actually paid for my JAWS to be upgraded.
Wow.
My word, in Louisville.
Through World Services, they had a grant, whatever, but they upgraded my JAWS. But my counselor flat out, because the counselor from World Services, at the time it was the director, he's now the CEO, and my teacher, all three, with my vocational rehab counselor on the phone, told her, Ken's doing all this stuff and he can't even do it properly, blah, blah, blah. And she said, sorry.
Too bad.
They're not budging on the budget. No, he's not getting it.
So Kenny scraped his quarters and pennies together.
People to succeed, don't they?
So Kenny scraped his quarters and pennies together and got a Hartford computer.
Well, no, that had nothing to do with school. I was finished for school way before that.
Yes, you were. You wish you had the Hartford computer.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I got a question. What's the latest iPhone out?
15 Pro. Next
17?
No, 15.
15 Pro,
oh.
15 Pro.
Shoot. Today I got a 14.
Okay.
Ah.
So
awesome.
And I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I got it.
Well, why wouldn't it work?
Well, because I don't know if I have the funds to pay for it.
That's another thing for those northern states. You all, vocational rehab and other programs will get you new cell phones. You won't get that in the southern states, but you'll get that in northern states.
Mm.
Bill got the latest cell phones out and all that other kind of stuff. But like I said, that also goes with the fundings over there.
Wow.
I told him I wanted to use his address for about 3 or 4 months and get the stuff I need, and I'd move back to Georgia. Who was it, Jerry, that vocational rehab got him a karaoke machine to start their own business and they never touched it?
Yeah, somebody I knew.
Yeah.
Gave him like this fancy karaoke machine, thousands of songs. It was ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Beg, steal, and borrow just for the little bit it got. And it's been over a month since my vocational rehab counselor even has contacted me, and I've contacted him several times. And I finally contacted him, CC'd his boss and somebody else on there.
Yep.
And I said, I haven't heard from you. I haven't heard from da-da-da. Went down the list. The only person I've heard from is here, and that's da-da-da. And I was like, what is going on? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Davis. I'm getting on that today. Arthur's getting it today because my job's professional needs to be upgraded for work.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're supposed to pay for it.
Now, see, the guy who knew that got all that stuff. He just used it for his own home. He didn't even use it to go out and use it as a job. So I was just saying.
Well, no, the people I worked with that was in Vegas, they were getting everything. They got talking microwave, got talking this, talking that, and I mean all this other kind of stuff. And it was like, oh wait, I need this too, and got a new cell phone. I'm like, how are y'all doing? I would just call my counselor and he gets it for me.
Because they're in Vegas.
I'm like, you don't get that. It's like I got elaborate reports and just to get to what I've got today.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mr. Jerry, when you have the time, could you email me specs on what I should have?
I can do that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So
I need to get in touch with my counselor after Labor Day and tell her, hey, I need a computer because my computer is not going to support JAWS.
And do you have any upgrades on your JAWS?
Nope.
Go ahead and add that in there too.
Yep. New copy of JAWS.
I need to get an order license as well.
No, yes, I said you need upgrades already. They can already buy extra upgrades to upgrade you for like the next 3 years.
Yep. Oh wow. Interesting.
Yeah, all you do is activate it when the new version comes out for 2025 comes out. You just activate that next auth. Yeah, you can have up to.
You need to get with Bill, Mr. Ulysses.
Yeah, have him do his report. He knows what to do.
Yeah, Bill gets all the blame.
What happened to Bill?
He could not make it tonight.
He where?
He could not make it tonight.
Oh, okay. He's with Miss Angie, huh?
No,
hopefully.
He is doing something, but it's not with his wifey.
Uh-huh. And so how was the vacation, Mr. Jerry?
She's probably happy then getting a break.
Yeah, we'll talk. I'll let you all know about that right after we finish our little class here.
Okay.
But yeah, so
we're talking about the new enhancements in JAWS that are coming out.
Yes. So like I said, JAWS is a bare minimum of 16 gigabytes. So if you really want to equate that, and Kenny will tell you the same thing, you're going to need probably at least 18 to 20 gigs for it to run decent.
Oh.
Okay. That's why you go ahead and ask for 32.
Exactly.
If you can get away with more, ask for more because you'll be set for the upgrades that'll be coming out 25, 26, because there's always going to be upgrading, especially as many as these enhancements for this AI features JAWS is doing.
Now,
there's going to be a lot more, and these new enhancements that's already came out, which one, Phil, you probably would be very interested in the face view. You do a lot of Zoom meetings if you want to be on camera. It lets you know about if you're centered, if you are in the picture and what's in your background.
I have a picture that I already have that's easy. Just put it on. People see it all the time. I don't have to deal with camera nonsense. But thank you.
You're welcome.
Keep it simple.
The other thing is that coming up, JAWS is going to be in Fusion and Zoom text. All that is going to be integrated with AI.
Ooh.
Did anybody listen to that FS podcast of where they were interviewing the guy's last interview? But I mean, last podcast, and the new guy took over their interview. The guy that's in, forgive me, I'm bad with the names, but he's in Europe. That's heading the AI features. But I said I know they're all that's French names and stuff.
So. is the new
host. Yes.
No. Well, yeah, he's the new host, but his first interview was also the guy leading the AI innovation to the Picture Smart.
Well, it'll at least the AI will be used for a good purpose. I'm just worried about it for other reasons.
Yeah, but to me, they're kind of behind times already because seeing BMIs has already done all this.
Who was calling you, Dan?
But
yeah, I gave him Walter's phone number.
So when you finish all your talk about JAWS, I have a question, but why don't we continue with the new enhancements, if that's what you're talking about?
Well, yeah, we are talking about that. So, JAWS or Fusion 24 suite, as depending on what you have, has some limited AI. Like the AI image recognition, like Kenny was just talking about. But 25 is going to have a lot more AI as well.
They're expecting a release to be upgraded at the end of September, beginning of October for AI features.
Correct.
Where it's going to be more enhanced if you do the Picture Smart instead of just describing the picture because you already know what it is. They've already added extra function that you can bypass that description. You just add Alt key to any of those commands and it'll automatically take you to the question. You can ask AI a direct question instead of going through, listen to the whole description and then asking a question since you already kind of know, hey, my boss sent me a report. I just need to know the statistics. For an example.
Yep, that's true.
So,
I've learned though that the question mark part of that, if you're not sure what to use on the Picture Smart or AI, you're supposedly supposed to do the insert space in P and enter, or insert space and even for OCR and enter. And it's supposed to automatically figure out what you're trying to have described. You don't have to worry about whether it's a window, explorer, picture, that function hasn't worked too well for me so far. I'm just experimenting with it.
Yeah.
That's just me personally.
That even works with the LCR portion?
Yes, it's supposed to automatically recognize what you're trying to OCR. Yes.
Now, Mr. Kenny and Mr. Jerry, another quick question for you guys.
Yes.
If I do end up getting a new laptop, will the same USB hub work like I have my keyboard connected on the
Oh, yes.
laptop? Cool.
As long as you have a USB, as long as you have a USB connection on the laptop.
Cool. All right. Sounds good. I'll be able to take advantage of the newer memory. Now, can you buy an external hard drive and add the memory to it? Or...
Well, you can buy an external hard drive, but that's only your hard drive memory, of course.
Explain how it doesn't add memory to your computer.
But it don't add. Yeah, RAM is different. RAM, which is the memory needed to run JAWS and the other programs, is different than your hard drive.
Okay.
I always like to use storage and RAM because people often get that confused.
So, so what
you
you're
call
asking,
both things memory.
So, and an idea just to help you out, Mr. Ulysses, is
Yes.
storage or that type of memory, like you were calling it, is
Mhm.
long term. RAM is short term.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So if you power off your computer, boom, your RAM forgets everything.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Your
your
files
RAM,
stay stored.
yep, but your files are stored on your hard drive.
Mhm.
So that's the difference. RAM is like short-term memory. Hard drive is like long-term memory.
I
Okay.
always use it as word association. RAM starts with R. It runs your computer, so to speak.
Mhm.
That's just the way. I mean, it's not the definition. That's just the way I separate them. Runs your computer, where your hard drive and storage stores your files, saves it.
Like for
I,
instance, Google
I,
Doc.
I would like,
Yes, Ron.
excuse me. I would like to, but Ulysses, he talked about an external hard drive. I personally think external hard drives are very important because that backs up your computer. If for some reason your computer crashed, your external hard drive will have all the information that you can download it back onto another computer. So
Amen.
I'm a firm believer of backup hard drives. And on one of my computers, I have more than one backup hard drive because I think the information is that important because I don't want to lose it. Because once you lose it, you're never going to get it back.
Well, not easily.
90% of the time.
Not
Yes.
easily.
No,
Well,
I
that's
would
true.
I would agree with you, Ron. I have external hard drives as well to back up important information.
Man,
Yes.
I'm a slacker, Ron, because I don't have that. And
Well, that's
and you
okay, but
and you'd think I would, being a tech guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
right.
But
Oh,
I do have an external NAS system.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I
You're
mean,
just
do
you're
you
just a
have
little bit more
do you go through
high
the cloud
tech.
or something? Or
What's
He's
that?
just a
you
little bit
compare
more
on the
high
cloud and
tech.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's more high tech, Ron.
Mine's like
Oh.
a separate computer that's its own cloud.
Oh, okay, there you go.
That's what I was going to say. I expect you to have stuff in cloud.
I have an NAS.
Well, good for you then.
And I built it myself, Mr. Ron. So it's got 32 terabytes of hard drive.
Oh, that should last you a while.
Mhm.
Just a little bit.
RAID 6? Any RAIDs?
It's done in ZSF, which is kind of like RAID that's 6 with parity striping. But I'm using.
Well, yeah, we can borrow some of that then.
There you go. Hey, I like Ron's idea. Ron's got a good idea. Hey Jerry, I'm gonna be sending you a lot of stuff. Back up for me.
What's the IP address of your NAS?
Now, the backpack that came with my laptop, if I do end up getting a new one, will it fit?
It depends.
It depends on the size of the laptop. It's just like anything else.
Oh, okay.
If it's the same size screen as your
Yeah.
old one, yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Just double checking.
But
Yeah, you just have to use your measuring tape in the sense of how big the inside of your backpack is, and compare it to your computer of how much bigger it could go with still fitting without having to get a new one. And if they get one bigger, just tell them to get you a new backpack too.
Yeah.
You can use that for something else.
Oh, so I could use the same backpack for like my phone and my streaming, so I get the newer.
Or
Yeah.
you could get a desktop and be big like we are.
Yeah. I would prefer a laptop because it's a lot easier to use.
No, it's not.
No.
No.
They're the same. I think it's just personal preference, honestly. Personal preference.
I don't like the trackpad on a laptop, and I don't like the keyboard.
I don't like the keyboard, but I disable the trackpad.
I do too because I don't like them.
Yep, my thumb hits it every time, and I'm like, "What is going on with my jaws?" Nothing. I just hit the trackpad, and mouse went somewhere else. The
And
focus went elsewhere.
and the laptop keyboards all suck.
Yeah, but you can get an external hard drive. As somebody, they slammed
what-
me all through school.
Wait a minute.
Just get an external hard drive. Just get external keyboard, Ken. I'm gonna mail you one, Ken.
Yeah, external keyboards are awesome.
I don't take one with me when I travel and take my laptop.
Oh my. I do.
Well, do you want to lug around a separate keyboard?
Nope.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I don't travel with my laptop very often, just to a friend's house to look up some stuff. I think when I went to Wisconsin for that job interview, I took my laptop just so I could be entertained.
Right. That makes sense. So, are there any other technology questions about computers, the iPhone? None at all? iPads?
My
NVDA?
SE 2020.
NVDA, Charles?
No, I don't have any questions on it. NVDA.
Is that what you use, sir?
No, I don't use NVDA.
Have you ever used it?
Only on Windows 7, not on Windows 10.
NVDA is always a great backup, something to learn.
Yep.
Because if you can't ever afford JAWS or something happens with JAWS, NVDA is free.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I've got it on all my computers and my wife's computer.
And well, for school we had to learn it, so I just keep it and keep brushing up on it.
Well, there's some things, honestly, that I have found that NVDA works better on than JAWS.
Yep.
So I will actually go through some programs and different things, and I will switch back and forth, honestly.
Yep. I agree with you, absolutely. There are some things NVDA shines at.
And OCR was one of them. We'll see how JAWS advances, but right now I still use more. I use my NVDA for the OCR than I do JAWS. Now, PictureSmart, I've went actually away from it a little bit since I've downloaded the Be My Eyes app on my computers. Because it does a lot better.
Yeah. So here's a good question for you, Mr. Ken.
Mm-hmm.
What is the program that we would never recommend for people?
I don't even say the word. That thing can just swim away.
What's that?
Dolphin.
It's a program called Dolphin.
What's wrong with it?
Everything. I mean, seriously.
I'll give you an example, Mr. Phil. I had my own custom computer, right?
Yes.
That can crush any program out there. I loaded Dolphin on it, and it crashed my computer.
Oh,
we were required to in school. No, literally, it did. And I can't tell you we had to download that for school, but I can't tell you how many times with all the different programs you put on our computers, Jerry, did it take us to uninstall that thing? It was like the Hotel California. It would never leave.
No.
And no matter, seriously, you know how you have the shortcut keys you can start NVDA and JAWS with or Fusion. Even with going into the settings and disabling those, the shortcut key, I can tell you for a fact, I still remember it. To start the Dolphin is Control-Shift-S because I use that function a lot in Word because I use a lot of headings for my notes.
Yep.
Every time I would touch that, it would turn Dolphin on, and I could never get it to turn off.
And then uninstalling it
seriously,
was a bear.
You have to say how long. Seriously, it took us. I don't know how many tries. We literally. Literally, I mean, honest to goodness, I am not lying. Jerry had to go in and manually just extract files by files and the program. I mean, it was just like a virus.
What's Dolphin supposed to do?
It's supposed to be a screen reader program,
like JAWS and NVDA.
Except it was created in European. And it's supposed to be a lot cheaper than JAWS,
but it's
better. But it's supposed to work better than NVDA because NVDA being free. And The company has already went bankruptcy and someone else has bought it out. And to my understanding, it still hasn't went well here in the States.
Like I said, we tried it in school, and it was. I had to do bells in the same way, but mainly unnecessarily each foul.
Yeah, it's like it was. It was. I mean, it was horrific to get rid of. And we downloaded it. It's a free trial. You get a free trial, just like JAWS, but it wasn't 40-minute mode. It was a free trial. We had to go in and do these lessons and complete these lessons to learn how to use it and then use it. And those voices automatically started in a European accent.
Yep.
That it was like, okay, how do you change the voice so you can understand? I mean, it was heavy accent. I mean, for me personally,
it was thick,
other people was okay, but and I'm not. I change my things up from time to time, especially my voiceover speech, just for entertainment and get something different. But I could not, and y'all know how fast I listen to my things, and it's like as slow as it was, I couldn't understand it.
No, it was a thick European accent for sure.
I mean, it was like chopped English from somebody that speaks French, which is fine if they're in the country and they're speaking to us. At least they've learned some of English to try to communicate. Or you're over there and they're trying to communicate with you, but not on the program you're trying to work on.
So for that reason, we don't recommend Dolphin at all.
God,
you don't hear much about it anymore, or I haven't.
I mean,
pro or con.
Yeah, I mean, if you go in there after downloading it and everything, and you do add remove programs, it don't remove them all. It's still there. Dolphin still attacks you.
Amen.
Hey, Jerry, I have a question because eventually I want to upgrade to JAWS. And I don't know, the price of JAWS is quite expensive if you buy it outright. And then I think you still have to pay a yearly fee for it.
No,
I'm not sure.
There's two different models, okay?
Oh,
go ahead, Kenny.
Go
ahead, Kenny. Tell them the two different models.
Well, the license outright, if you buy that, then no, that's different than the monthly subscription. I mean, yearly subscription. There's a yearly subscription of $95 for the home edition. And the home edition works great for everybody, and you can have it on 3 different computers. If you're going to need any type of remote connection, that's when you're going to have to go into the JAWS Professional. But you don't need JAWS Professional unless you just need to connect to a remote server. But the key to that remote server has to have JAWS on it as well to connect.
Yep.
That's where you get into the money. And the initial license is $1,000.
But that's beyond the scope of you guys.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. And then the yearly subscription is $200 to $300 depending on whether you get the SMA. Anyway, you don't have to worry about all that stuff. You would just need to do the yearly home edition, $95.
Oh, okay, and that's what most of you do then, is a yearly subscription then.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Oh, great. Yeah, yes. I can afford that. That'll be fine.
Well, see,
I know it went into the thousands the other way, or something like that.
No. That goes into the professional. You don't need to do that unless you're going to be going into some type of business or needing any type of direct tandem for other systems. You don't need that. JAWS Professional is that just what I said. If you're professional, if you're going into some type of business setting.
Yeah, for the enterprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, just also let you know, Ron, like let's say you went today, August 30th, and got the JAWS annual subscription. Right now it would be 2024. When 2025 comes out and upgrades, when it automatically comes up and it'll tell you that there's something new or an upgrade. You automatically get that 2025 if it comes out prior to August 30th, 2025. You get all the upgrades in between your subscription. If they update anything or upgrade, you get it in as long as it's within your year subscription.
That's nice. And then
Yes.
do they send you a bill, or do they just you give them a credit card and they automatically every year just charge
It
the card?
depends how you set that up.
Well, as I said, when you first go online and download it and activate it, you pay by credit card. When you'll download it, you'll add a credit card, you'll pay for it. It's going to automatically put you on auto billing, but you can log back into your account and turn that off, or you can leave it alone. But automatically, when you first pay for it, it automatically enrolls you, but you can turn it off.
Oh, okay. Well, automatic's fine. You know, I was just wondering how it paid from year to year. So no, that would be great. That's a great way. So thank you. I did not. Thank you for that information. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I see. That's what we want to do. We want to learn. You know, if we don't ask questions, we
From
don't learn.
everyone, hello testing, please reply.
Hello, we heard you as well. And I replied.
But yeah, what's going to happen, Rondo, is like when you go online, you'll set up a username and password for the JAWS portal, and because when you buy it, and then that's where you'll be able to manage all your subscriptions as well. So you'll see, you know, when it's going to be run out and when it's going to auto bill. If you keep auto pay, if you're going to keep that feature or change, you can go in and change your credit card information. And you also, with that one fee, you can activate JAWS up to on the 3 computers.
Yep.
3 different computers.
Left the meeting.
And
that'd be nice. Yes.
And if you decide, like, for example, if you get a new computer, you can go on the portal and deactivate your old computer right on the portal.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And you'll get that activation code, because you just have to have that activation code when you get that new computer. You re-download JAWS, and then and through the JAWS menu, you activate it. But when you buy it, you get an activation code. Just keep that activation code, and that's what you use to activate it on the new computers or the other devices.
Oh, okay, great. Oh, that's wonderful news.
Well, if you ever lose it, though, it's also easy. You just call the Freedom Scientific, the Sparrow. You call them Monday through Friday, and give them the serial number of JAWS, and they can walk you through how to find it. But you give them your serial numbers of JAWS, and they'll give you your activation code. They'll email it to you, so you can activate it on another computer if you need to.
Yep, and you can even find that, you know, on your website as well. You can find that serial number.
Oh yeah, there's several ways you can find the serial number. I'm just saying, when you get on there, they can tell you exactly how to give them. But you know, you go into your help and about of your JAWS interface, and it'll give you your serial number. That's the easiest way to get it, where you can read it letter number by number to give back to them. But there's several ways you can do it.
Insert Control V is simpler.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, great.
That's what I said. There's several ways you can get your serial number. I just usually bring it up in the help menu, because the about, so I can arrow through to give it to them.
So there you go. So multiple ways. It's super easy.
That's just my preference. There's, like JAWS, you can do several different ways to get the same information.
Well, I would make sure I write all those numbers down, so I have them in a book, you know.
There you go.
Yes, I do that as well, Ron. I have my serial number for my personal JAWS and my serial number for my work JAWS. All on, and my username and passwords on the Excel spreadsheet, which I have backed up on my external hard drive.
Well, I don't have an external hard drive.
Someone has my own heart. Good.
Yes.
Man, Kenny, I feel so bad not having an external hard drive to back that up on.
Oh, we don't care about you.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're techie. You should be able to retrieve your own information if you lose it.
Well, I can. I can just go to my NAS and right there it is.
But yeah, so I don't have to remember all these things and stuff. Yeah, I have my like for my Word and all that good stuff and email and just the accounts I have to set up, and then my wife's stuff, username and passwords. I got them on it. I did fix myself because I like Excel, but for my everybody has their own preference, but you know, I love Excel, and I got it set up on Excel spreadsheet, and as I update it, I keep it on both computers and external hard drive, just in case I need it on either one.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, well, I got myself a notebook several years ago and wrote everything down in that. So at least I have it on paper here, and you know, I can have someone help me find the information. And so because I can't remember all of that.
And
so
Hey,
at least I would
another
have
good
that.
idea, if you have a
Oh, wait,
Victor
wait.
Reader or
Oh,
Victor
yes.
Stream, you could put it on there as well.
Yeah. Recording,
Oh, okay.
but Ron, here's a funny story for you. My wife, she finally decided to get organized, and she got her a notebook, and she wrote down everything, usernames, passwords, got everything organized. She lost the notebook.
Oh,
Dang. Here, I just got
Yeah, it's like she
yeah,
finally got
no.
organized and got everything in one spot, and then she can't find it. I was like, well, I said, anything you want to remember, I said, email me and I'll add it to the spreadsheet.
Oh, did she ever find it?
No.
So basically,
Oh,
Ken,
that's so too
I just need to
bad.
look at your spreadsheet. Is that what you're telling?
You can look all day long. You won't know what it is. It's like, I don't spell out this is my username and password for this. I have just like initials, and then some of them I don't even have say username and password. I just have something there. Except
You
for
got-
my JAWS, I do say work SN and home SN.
Do you have websites on there?
Only my work ones.
But not on your Excel spreadsheet?
No, I mean, on my Excel spreadsheet, yeah, I have my work username and password. So unless you can get in there, those won't do you any good. But yes, I do. Get into the phone system, getting into a scheduling system, getting that. I got my username and password.
So, Les, anybody, you got any more questions?
What program would you use to back up?
Who's that?
Mario.
It's Mario.
You could back up your Office if you got your Microsoft Office suite. You could back up.
No, not what you can back up. What program can you use to back up?
Oh, I'm sorry. He said, what programs can you
Software
use to back up?
What, Jerry, can you hear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Hey.
There he is.
Thank you. I use FreeNAS myself. That's what I use. But I mean,
I'm sorry, what was that?
I use a program on my backup NAS called FreeNAS, FREENAS. But I have basically a separate computer that's a storage. And it's called FreeNAS is what I use.
What happens if that computer crashes?
Well, I could just put a new motherboard and everything into that thing. Put my new hard drives in there. And here's the nice thing. Say if one of my hard drives die, right? All I do is take out that hard drive, put a brand new one in, and it builds itself back up.
That's what RAID 6 is for.
Yeah, it's ZSF equivalent to RAID 6.
So it's kind of like backing up on the cloud and it re-downloads, except for it's not cloud-based.
Right. It's not cloud-based, correct. And it's got two hard drives.
I was just giving
drives.
it equivalent,
Yes.
as something to compare it to.
Yep. Pretty much. It's like my own personal cloud.
Gotcha.
Yes.
What about you, Ken?
I just use the external hard drive.
And you drag the files over.
I just manually move everything over.
Oh.
Move to
Doesn't that take a long time to do
it
that?
depends.
Well, it does if you do it all at one time, but I back up as I go. So it's like once I get something new, I'll go ahead and back it up. If I update it, I back it up, and just don't replace the.
So you don't use any program, basically you copy and paste.
Yep. Or
Yes,
move
sir.
to.
That
He
is
uses the
correct.
move to option.
Uh-huh.
Move to.
Copy, paste, or save, or send to. So I manually do it. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but there's things called like there's the program called Back Me Up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's free ones too. You can just Google.
Now I do use the for my phone. I do use the iCloud app for Windows.
Ooh.
I back up all my photos because you can actually you can take them off the cloud and you
Yes.
can actually keep through your actually app, the Windows app. It'll back it up to that, and you say keep on this computer, and you create a file, and you'll move it all to your computer, so you can remove it from the cloud base itself and from your phone, but you still have them anytime.
Yep.
And you can send it back if you want to, because that's the
correct.
biggest thing that takes up your storage on your cell phone, or at least for iPhone. 90% of the time is photos.
I back up my photos to my NAS as well.
I did some external hard drive in my computer, but I just use that app to back it up so it saves it on the computer, so I don't have to worry about losing it if I delete it from my phone, because it deletes it from the cloud too.
Backup's called backup regurgitation.
And Bill just uses the Windows backup when he does his backups. He does what he's got automatic backups that he's got set to do with Windows backups.
Yeah.
So it doesn't.
That for me.
But that's it for me, Mario. I just thought about that. That's the only thing I use besides manually moving everything.
Yeah.
And that's just for my photos, though. And
Well, what I use is a program called Windows Backup.
Yep,
It's not the one that's built into Windows.
Huh?
Oh, okay.
Backup, yeah.
Well, this thing runs a couple of hours, this class.
Oh, well, yeah, they're not having that class there.
I also have the
Okay, right back. So,
But you do learn a lot. I gotta admit that. I mean, a lot of it's too complicated for me, but you know.
Oh no, we talk about lesser things as well. All right.
But,
well,
yeah.
It sounds like everyone's been asking questions. Yeah.
I have navigation question, but that's probably not part of this class. We can do it after it's over.
All right. Anybody got any other questions about what we were talking about?
These are great informations if you need a new computer to just task for a new one instead of you using your old one, I guess.
Yes. I guess not. So we'll stop recording. Officially in class.